Hey Phil, I'm just going through your questions in reverse. This guy here, you know what? You can make a duplicate of your quotator small and then put the code wherever you want, but I'm going to say don't use this guy here. Uh, what we It was from an older product, and I've sort of modified it, and I've put it, I think what I call what I consider to be a better version with the quotator small here. And the quotator large, as you see, this is when you edit in code. Right, you flip it over, and then the text in black you would change right here, and then the text in black and that sort of thing. Or you could just sort of, in the meantime, you can just hide or move the link. Here's what a little trick you can do is just to create a new page, right? Because I don't have it properly set up for this template. You can take the style sheet link right out, so you just paste it into a new page for the meantime, then you can flip it into design view, and there you go right there. But yeah, to be honest, it's something I probably shouldn't have left in the package because I didn't actually end up using it. So I ended up going with the quotator small and not using this one here. One of the reasons why I don't use this one anymore is it has conflicts with certain sliders. The modernizer script that it's required to run doesn't work with everything. So when the original template I created, and when I used this quotator with that original template, they didn't have a conflict. But then as I started using in other products, using different sliders and different pages, it stopped working because it had a conflict. So I was like, oh great. So I came up with this one right here, but I probably should just yank that right out to answer your question. But you can create as many of these as you want, right? And then insert them to different pages if you want to. So anyways, I'm going to start going through your questions here. I open up the quotator LBI page. I'm going to place quotes in there, but there's only one editable space, and the quotes are on top of another. It's a jumble mess. How can I fix that? And then take out the components and replace them. Okay, so this one here, let's just pretend that let's not use that one, but this guy here, you can create as many of these as you want to. Okay, so you can copy the folder, paste it. We'll call this number 2, for example, right? Like so, and update. Now the testimonial slider, that may be something that's way more up your alley, because it is a quote rotator of sorts anyways, which is this right here. Okay, now this here and this quotator down here, these are new. The other quotator, that's old. So my intention was to get rid of this thing here. I've added the testimonial slider and the quotator small to give you more features, and also they don't have conflicts with the other sliders like this one does. So you can create, say, another testimonial slider if you want to. All right, call it number 2. All right, and then you can insert that into any page you want. Now if you're going to insert that into another page, let's say we want to put it into our about page, what we're going to need to do is make sure that any style sheet links are included, right? So if I open up the index page here, I'll show you what I mean. When we use some of these components, depending on how many styles and scripts and all that sort of thing it requires, sometimes we put the extra bits and pieces up here at the top. For example, here's a link to the testimonials slider. So if you're going to use that slider in another page, you need to make sure you also include a link to the style sheet right here. Right, so you just copy that, and in our about page you would have to paste that into the page layout styles right up here. Okay, and the only way you really know is just you have to look at the, like, whatever page you're taking the component from. So we're using a component from the index page, so just check up at the top to see if there's any links in here to that component. So we have a contact panel, a full screen slider, info box, carousel, call to action, testimonial slider, boom, so you'd want to copy that, and there's no other scripts or anything there, so you should be good to go. Now you can actually go into your page, and wherever you want to copy that testimonial slider in the content region, for example, right? So say you want to copy it somewhere into the middle of the page, right? Oh, let's copy it right in here. So put your cursor in there, and then you just flip it over to the code view, right, and you get a bit of an idea. We want it right under this H2 tag right here. Then you go to your assets panel and you'd look for your second instance of the testimonial slider, or even a better thing you can do is call this testimonial slider right here, name that library page itself, the testimonials 2. Go to your assets and then refresh, and there's testimonials 2, and just hit insert and it puts it into the page over here for you, and then when you go to update it, it will show. Okay, let's just see how that worked. Oh, yeah, it went in properly, but it didn't up. We have to physically update the page, library page itself now. So I haven't even done that yet. So whoops. When you copy and whatnot a page over, you have to make sure that any links to images and hyperlinks are updated. So as you can see here, the testimonial slider didn't update the folder name here, so that was a oversight on my part, and it has to go to testimonial slider 2 dash copy, and then any links we'd have to update. So any image sources we just got to make sure are not broken like that. So anyways, that'll fix it. Okay, so just to sort of reiterate or answer your question here, yeah, you can create as many copies of your library page. Once you do, though, you need to go into the page and make sure all the links for the images and whatnot are still properly functioning, which is something I didn't do and should have done, right? So you'd have to go in and make sure that any image links, right? Basically, if you ever see the word copy, then replace it with a proper folder name like I was showing you there. And I don't know why Dreamweaver does that. It's kind of goofy. You'd figure it would update the link properly, but it didn't, or it doesn't, so you have to just do it manually. So basically, let me just show you that one again there. I'm going to try something different, because you can probably do this as well. You can probably just copy the library page. I just want to see if that, yeah, that may be a better way to go. See how we've got the testimonial slider, and I've just copied the library page itself to make a new one. Go that route instead, then you can just insert instead of copying the folder. So skip my first bit of bad advice there. Sorry on the confusion.